Have you ever felt like you were constantly searching for something, yet not quite sure what? As if there were a void you couldn't fill, no matter how hard you tried? Imagine a moment of serenity, where all your worries vanish and you feel a profound peace, a peace that comes from within. This feeling, this state of being, is something many of us long for but seldom achieve. However, over 2,000 years ago, a man found the path to this inner tranquility and dedicated his life to teaching others how to find it too. That man was Siddhartha Gautama, better known as the Buddha. He lived in a very different time from ours, yet his teachings remain remarkably relevant today. Buddha didn't offer riches or promises of an easy life. Instead, he shared a series of practical and deeply wise teachings that show us how to live more meaningfully and fully. Today, we will explore one of the most fundamental aspects of his teachings, the Noble Eightfold Path. This path is a guide that leads us to live more consciously and balanced, helping us to navigate daily challenges with grace and serenity. Imagine, for a moment, being able to face life's ups and downs without losing your inner peace. Think of being able to maintain a sense of clarity and purpose, even when things don't go as planned. This is not an unattainable ideal, it is a state of being we can cultivate by following the principles outlined by Buddha. The Noble Eightfold Path is not merely a set of rules, it is an approach to life that transforms our view of the world and ourselves. As we delve into these teachings, we will discover how small changes in our intentions, words, actions, and thoughts can lead to profound and lasting transformation. So, prepare for a deep and introspective exploration. Open your mind and heart to the timeless wisdom of Buddha, and see how they can bring new light into your everyday life. Let's embark on this fascinating discovery, where each step brings us closer to true inner peace and happiness. The quest for true inner peace begins with right understanding. But what does this really mean? It's not just about knowing right from wrong. It goes much deeper. It's about seeing reality clearly and profoundly, recognizing the fundamental truths of human existence. Buddha taught that life is permeated by suffering, but also by the possibility of overcoming that suffering. This view may seem harsh at first glance, but it is actually liberating. By accepting that suffering is part of the human experience, we can begin to understand its causes and eventually transcend it. Imagine yourself facing a vast ocean. At first glance, the water may appear calm and serene, but as you look closer, you notice hidden currents and unknown depths. Right understanding is like learning to see these currents and understanding how they influence the surface. It's recognizing that our lives are shaped by our desires, fears, and ignorances, but also that we have the capacity to see beyond them. To cultivate right understanding, it is essential to study and reflect on the teachings of Buddha. He spoke of the Four Noble Truths, which are fundamental to this journey: the truth of suffering, the truth of the origin of suffering, the truth of the cessation of suffering, and the truth of the path leading to the cessation of suffering. Each of these truths offers us a piece of the puzzle that is human existence. Think of a time when you experienced significant difficulty. Perhaps it was the loss of a loved one, a professional failure, or even a personal conflict. The pain and frustration you felt are examples of suffering. Right understanding helps us see that this suffering is not just a random occurrence but an intrinsic part of life. More importantly, it teaches us that there is a way to deal with this pain so that we are not defined by it. Right understanding is not something achieved all at once. It is a continuous process of learning and introspection. Each new experience, each challenge faced, is an opportunity to deepen our understanding and move closer to wisdom and inner peace. As we continue to explore the Noble Eightfold Path, we will see how this foundation of right understanding intertwines with the other aspects of the path. Each step is an invitation to see the world with greater clarity and compassion, and to live a life that reflects this understanding. With this in mind, let us move forward to the next step, right intention. After comprehending the fundamental truths of existence, the next step is to align our intentions with this understanding. Right intention is about directing our mind and heart in ways that promote peace, kindness, and wisdom. Buddha taught us that our intentions shape our actions, and these actions, in turn, shape our destiny. Right intention can be divided into three main aspects: the intention of renunciation, the intention of goodwill, and the intention of non-violence. Each of these intentions guides us towards a life of greater harmony and compassion. The intention of renunciation invites us to release attachment to material things and insatiable desires that imprison us. This doesn't mean living a life of deprivation, but rather cultivating a healthy detachment. Imagine a balloon tethered to the ground by heavy ropes. Each rope represents a desire or attachment that keeps us bound. The intention of renunciation is like cutting these ropes, allowing the balloon to rise and reach new heights. The intention of goodwill involves nurturing thoughts of love and kindness towards all beings. This can be challenging, especially when facing difficult people or situations. However, by practicing compassion and forgiveness, we create an environment of inner and outer peace. Think of a garden. When you plant seeds of kindness, you harvest flowers of harmony. Even in rocky soil, these flowers can thrive if nurtured with patience and care. The intention of non-violence reminds us of the importance of avoiding harm, both physically and emotionally. This includes being kind and respectful towards oneself as well as others. Sometimes, we are our own worst critics, feeding negative thoughts and harsh self-criticism. The intention of nonviolence is a practice of radical kindness, a constant reminder that we deserve the same care and respect we extend to others. Developing right intention requires constant vigilance and reflection. We can begin by practicing mindfulness of our thoughts and intentions daily. When we notice a negative or selfish intention arising, we can gently redirect it towards a more positive and altruistic intention. Over time, this becomes more natural, and our actions begin to reflect these purer intentions. By strengthening our intentions, we lay the groundwork for the next steps of the Noble Eightfold Path. Right intention is not just about what we decide to do, but also about how we choose to be. It is a continuous practice of aligning our heart and mind with the principles of compassion, wisdom, and peace. With these clear intentions, we can proceed to the next phase of the path, right speech. With our intentions aligned and purified, the next step on the Noble Eightfold Path is right speech. Buddha emphasized the power of speech and how our words can create realities. Right speech is not just about avoiding harmful words, but also cultivating communication that promotes truth, harmony, and respect. Right speech is based on 4 essential principles: refraining from lying, refraining from gossip, refraining from abusive speech, and refraining from idle chatter. Let's explore each of these principles to understand how they can transform our lives and relationships. Refraining from lying forms the foundation of right speech. Truth is a powerful force, and speaking truth cultivates trust and integrity. Lying may seem like an easy solution in difficult moments, but even small lies create cracks in our relationships and in our own conscience. Imagine building a house with low-quality materials. It may seem stable at first, but over time, these weaknesses lead to ruin. Truth, although sometimes difficult to speak, builds a solid and enduring foundation. Refraining from gossip means abstaining from spreading information that can harm others or that lacks basis in truth. Gossip is like a small flame that can turn into a devastating fire, causing irreparable damage to relationships and communities. Think of gossip as seeds of discord that grow into thorny bushes of distrust. Instead, we should plant seeds of understanding and support, promoting an environment of trust and respect. Refraining from abusive speech reminds us to treat others with dignity and respect. Harsh words and criticisms can leave deep and lasting scars. Abusive speech not only hurts others but also poisons our own mind and heart. Imagine each abusive word as a stone thrown into a calm lake, creating waves of pain that spread widely. Practicing right speech is like casting flower petals into the lake, generating waves of kindness and compassion. Refraining from idle chatter means avoiding wasting words in meaningless discussions that do not contribute to well-being or mutual understanding. This does not mean we cannot enjoy light and pleasant conversations, but rather that we should be mindful of how our words can be used more meaningfully. Imagine each word as a precious coin. Spending them wisely can enrich our lives and the lives of those around us. The practice of right speech involves reflection and mindfulness. Before speaking, we can ask ourselves, is this true? Is this useful? Is this kind? These questions help us filter our words, ensuring they contribute positively to our interactions and relationships. Moreover, right speech also involves active listening. Listening attentively to others with empathy and understanding is a powerful form of communication. Active listening creates a safe space where people feel valued and understood, strengthening our bonds with them. As we progress on the noble Eightfold Path, the practice of right speech prepares us for the next step, right action. By cultivating truth, kindness, and awareness in our words, we begin to shape our actions more compassionately and ethically. With speech as our foundation, we are ready to explore how our actions can reflect our higher principles. After aligning our intentions and purifying our speech, we come to the principle of right action. Buddha teaches us that our actions are the most tangible reflection of our mind and heart. Right action is about acting ethically and compassionately, creating harmony and avoiding causing suffering to ourselves and others. Right action involves three main aspects: refraining from taking life, refraining from taking what is not given, and refraining from improper sexual conduct. Let's explore how each of these aspects can guide us on a path of greater integrity and compassion. Refraining from taking life is the first aspect of right action. This doesn't just refer to refraining from killing humans but extending our respect and compassion to all forms of life. Every living being has the right to exist, and by honoring this truth, we cultivate an attitude of nonviolence. Think of each being as a lit candle, shining with the flame of life. Extinguishing this flame is not only an act of cruelty but also a loss of light in the world. Practicing nonviolence, on the other hand, is like lighting more candles, illuminating the path for all. Refraining from taking what is not given is the second aspect of right action. This goes beyond simply not stealing. It's about respecting the property and rights of others, whether material, intellectual, or emotional. Taking something that doesn't belong to us creates imbalance and disharmony. Imagine a scale where each unjust taking tilts the balance to one side, causing instability. Respecting the rights of others is like keeping the scale in balance, promoting justice and fairness. Refraining from improper sexual conduct is the third aspect of right action. This involves acting with respect, responsibility, and consideration in intimate relationships. Improper sexual conduct can cause great suffering and harm to those involved, as well as their families and communities. Imagine a circle of trust and intimacy. Improper acts are like stones thrown into this circle, creating cracks and fractures. Right action in sexual conduct is about preserving this circle, acting with integrity and respect. The practice of right action is more than just avoiding harm, it's about cultivating positive actions that promote well-being and harmony. This can include acts of kindness, generosity, and service to others. Imagine a garden. Each positive act is like planting a flower, adding beauty and vitality to the environment around us. To implement right action in our daily lives, we can start by reflecting on the consequences of our actions. Ask yourself, will this cause suffering to anyone? Will this bring lasting benefits? Is this in alignment with my deepest values? These reflections help us act consciously and ethically. Furthermore, right action calls us to be proactive in our kindness. Small acts of generosity and compassion can have a big impact. It can be as simple as helping a neighbor, being kind to a stranger, or supporting someone in need. Each act of kindness is like a stone thrown into a pond, creating waves of positive impact that spread widely. Through practicing right action, we begin to see our lives as a series of opportunities to create well-being and harmony. Our ethical and compassionate actions not only enhance our own lives but also contribute to a more just and peaceful world. With right action firmly established, we are prepared to move on to the next step in the Eightfold Path, right livelihood. As we continue to build a life aligned with ethical and compassionate principles, we will explore how our professional choices and means of livelihood can reflect and reinforce these values. When we think about our professional life, we often focus on achieving success, earning money, and building a career. However, Buddha challenges us to look deeper and consider the ethical impact of our livelihood choices. Right livelihood invites us to ensure that our work is an expression of our values and a means to positively contribute to the world. Right livelihood means earning a living in a way that does not cause harm to other living beings. This entails avoiding occupations that involve exploitation, violence, or dishonesty. Imagine you are building a house. Every brick you use must be solid and defect-free to ensure the house is strong and lasting. Similarly, every decision we make about our professional life should be ethical and aligned with our principles to build a life of integrity. Some occupations clearly contradict right livelihood, such as those involving the production and sale of weapons, drugs, or any activity that exploits or harms others. But this guidance also extends to how we conduct our daily work. Whatever our profession, we should strive to work with honesty, responsibility, and compassion. Imagine a doctor who treats each patient with care and respect, regardless of their financial situation, or a teacher who teaches with passion and dedicates extra time to help a struggling student. These are examples of how right livelihood can manifest in different professions. Work is not just a means to earn money but an opportunity to serve and do good. In addition to avoiding harmful occupations, right livelihood also encourages us to seek work that benefits others. This may mean choosing a career in social services, healthcare, education, or any field where we can contribute positively to society. Even in jobs that may not seem directly altruistic, we can find ways to incorporate compassion and integrity into our daily actions. For many of us, it may not be immediately possible to switch careers to something we consider more ethical. In such cases, Buddha teaches us to do our best with the situation we have. We can seek small ways to improve the impact of our current work, treat colleagues and clients with more respect, or use part of our income to support beneficial causes. Every small action counts and contributes to aligning our professional life with the principles of right livelihood. Reflecting on our career through the lens of right livelihood can also lead to a greater sense of purpose and satisfaction. When we feel that our work is aligned with our values, we are more likely to find joy and fulfillment in our daily activities. Imagine waking up every day knowing that your work makes a positive difference in the world. That is the power of right livelihood. Right livelihood is not just about what we do but also how we do it. Approaching our work with an attitude of service, gratitude, and commitment to ethics can transform even the most mundane tasks into opportunities for spiritual practice and personal growth. As we delve deeper into the Eightfold Path, right livelihood prepares us for the next step, right effort. Now that we understand the importance of choosing and conducting our profession ethically, we will explore how we can cultivate diligence and determination to keep our spiritual practice alive and vigorous. The Eightfold Path leads us to understand that achieving a full and enlightened life requires more than just good intentions. It demands continuous and conscious effort to cultivate positive qualities and abandon negative ones. Right effort is the practice that helps us maintain the determination and energy necessary for this spiritual journey. Imagine a gardener meticulously caring for his garden. He not only plants seeds but also removes weeds, waters the plants, and protects them from pests. Similarly, right effort teaches us to cultivate good habits and mental qualities while removing bad habits and harmful thoughts. It is a continuous process of tending to the garden of our mind. Right effort can be divided into 4 parts, each representing a specific practice. 1. Prevention. The first part of right effort is to prevent negative mental states from arising. This involves being mindful of situations and thoughts that can lead to suffering, such as anger, resentment, and desire. By recognizing the triggers of these states, we can take steps to avoid them. For example, if we know that a particular environment or company makes us irritable, we can either avoid those situations or prepare our mind to deal with them more balancedly. 2. Abandonment. The second practice is to abandon negative mental states that have already arisen. Just as the gardener removes weeds that threaten to choke his plants, we must work to eliminate harmful thoughts and emotions already present in our mind. This may involve meditation techniques, reflection, and practicing healthy alternatives. For example, replacing anger with compassion or envy with gratitude. 3. Cultivation. The third part of right effort is to cultivate and develop positive mental states. Just as the gardener plants seeds of flowers and trees, we should sow qualities such as loving kindness, empathetic joy, and wisdom in our mind. This can be done through specific practices such as loving kindness meditation, where we wish well-being and happiness for ourselves and others, or through altruistic actions that reinforce these positive mental states. 4. Maintenance. Finally, right effort involves maintaining and strengthening the positive mental states we have developed. Like the gardener caring for his plants so they grow strong and healthy, we must continue to nurture and protect our positive qualities. This requires constant practice and vigilance, ensuring that our good intentions become solid and ingrained habits. Right effort is like fuel that keeps our spiritual practice moving forward. Without effort, even the best teachings can become mere empty words. With effort, we can transform these teachings into a living and dynamic experience that permeates every aspect of our life. The practice of right effort also helps us develop an essential quality, resilience. In life, we face challenges and obstacles that can discourage us. However, when we practice right effort, we learn to see each difficulty as an opportunity to grow and strengthen our mind. The determination to continue, even when it is difficult, is what allows us to progress on the spiritual path. As we integrate right effort into our daily life, we begin to see real changes in our thoughts, behaviors, and emotions. The mind becomes clearer, the heart more open, and we face life's challenges with a more balanced and positive attitude. This transformation is a testament to the power of continuous and diligent effort. Now that we understand the importance of right effort, we are ready to explore the next step of the Eightfold Path, right mindfulness. This step will guide us in the practice of being fully present in each moment, a skill that complements and enhances right effort in profound and meaningful ways. The journey of the Eightfold Path now brings us to the practice of right mindfulness, one of the central pillars of Buddha's teachings. Mindfulness is being fully present in the moment, aware of what we are doing, feeling, and thinking without judgment or distraction. It is a state of continuous attention that allows us to live more fully and deeply. Imagine a lake on a tranquil morning. When the water is calm and clear, you can see the bottom of the lake with all its details. However, if the lake is disturbed, filled with waves and debris, it is impossible to see clearly to the bottom. Our minds work similarly. When they are agitated and distracted, clarity eludes us. But with the practice of right mindfulness, the mind becomes calm and clear, revealing the depths of our true nature. The practice of right mindfulness involves cultivating continuous awareness in various areas of our lives. 1. Mindfulness of the body. We start with awareness of our body. This includes observing posture, movements, and physical sensations. For example, we can practice mindfulness while walking, paying attention to each step and feeling the connection of our feet with the ground. We can also observe our breath, feeling the air entering and leaving our body. This practice helps us to be present in the moment and to recognize the signals our body sends us. 2. Mindfulness of feelings. The next step is being aware of our feelings, both pleasant and unpleasant. Instead of reacting automatically to them, we observe our feelings with curiosity and acceptance. For example, if we feel anger, we don't need to act on it immediately. We can simply observe the anger, understand its origin, and let it pass without clinging to it. 3. Mindfulness of the mind. The practice of right mindfulness also involves observing our thoughts. Often, our minds are filled with random thoughts, worries, and fantasies. With mindfulness, we observe these thoughts arising and passing away without identifying with them. This helps us to realize that we are not our thoughts and that we can choose which thoughts to follow and which to let go. 4. Mindfulness of mental objects. Finally, we expand our awareness to include all mental phenomena, such as ideas, memories, and emotional states. We observe how these mental objects arise, persist for a while, and then disappear. We recognize the impermanence of all mental phenomena and learn not to cling to them. This helps us to develop a balanced and equanimous mind that is not easily disturbed by life's changes and challenges. The practice of right mindfulness is a powerful tool for personal transformation. It enables us to live with more clarity, compassion, and wisdom. By being present in each moment, we can appreciate the beauty and depth of life, even in the simplest activities. For example, while eating a meal mindfully, we can savor each bite, appreciating flavors and textures in a way we normally wouldn't. Moreover, right mindfulness helps us to deal with suffering. Instead of avoiding or suppressing our pains and difficulties, we learn to face them with a calm and open mind. This allows us to see the true nature of suffering and to find healthy and constructive ways to deal with it. The practice of right mindfulness also strengthens our connection with others. When we are truly present, we can listen to and understand people around us better. This enables us to cultivate deeper and more meaningful relationships based on empathy and mutual understanding. Like any skill, right mindfulness requires practice and patience. Initially, it may be challenging to maintain mindfulness for extended periods. Our minds tend to wander, and we may feel frustrated. However, with consistent practice, mindfulness becomes more natural and integral to our daily lives. By incorporating right mindfulness into our lives, we build a solid foundation for spiritual practices and personal development. This foundation prepares us for the final step of the Eightfold Path, right concentration, guiding us toward a state of deep and stable focus essential for achieving enlightenment. We have now reached the final stage of Buddha's Noble Eightfold Path, right concentration. This step culminates the practice of the path, bringing together all the other practices into a state of deep and stabilized focus. Right concentration is not simply the ability to maintain focus on an object or task, it is a state of mental absorption where the mind is completely unified and free from distractions. Imagine being in a tranquil place, like a silent forest or a beach at dawn. The stillness around you reflects the inner calm of the mind in right concentration. In this state, you are not just present, you are fully immersed in the experience of the moment, free from scattered thoughts and emotional disturbances. It is a state of clarity and profound serenity. The practice of right concentration is primarily developed through meditation, specifically meditations known as jhanas. The jhanas are states of meditative absorption that begin with an initial focus, such as the breath, and progress through levels of increasing depth and mental stability. The four jhanas. 1. First jhana. The practitioner begins by focusing on a meditation object, usually the breath. Initially, the mind may be full of distractions, but with practice, a feeling of rapture and joy arises, accompanied by a firm focus on the meditation object. 2. Second jhana. As the practice deepens, the initial excitement transforms into a calmer joy. The mind stabilizes further, and the need to apply conscious effort to maintain focus diminishes, replaced by a state of natural and continuous concentration. 3. Third jhana. At this level, joy and pleasure become even more refined. The sense of well-being is profound but calm. The mind is serene, with an overriding sense of equanimity, maintaining concentration effortlessly. 4. Fourth jhana. Finally, the mind reaches a state of complete purity and equanimity. Joy and pleasure are replaced by deep serenity and a state of total detachment. The mind is completely unified, unperturbed, and focused. These states of absorption are not just moments of deep tranquility but also transform the mind in a lasting way. They purify the mind, allowing for greater clarity and understanding of Buddha's teachings. Additionally, they cultivate an inner resilience that enables facing life's challenges with a calm and balanced mind. Applying right concentration in daily life. Although the practice of the jhanas is profound and requires dedication, the principles of right concentration can be applied in our daily lives to improve our focus and well-being. Here are some ways to bring this practice into everyday life. 1. Daily meditation. Dedicate a few minutes each day to meditation. Start with observing the breath, allowing the mind to calm and focus. Over time, you will notice an increased ability to maintain focus and a more tranquil mind. 2. Focus on tasks. Practice concentration while performing daily tasks. If you are working on a project, avoid multitasking. Focus entirely on the task at hand, bringing a quality of full presence to what you are doing. 3. Moments of pause. Take moments throughout the day to pause and bring the mind back to the present. Even just a few minutes of mindful breathing can help reorient the mind and reduce stress. 4. Cultivate equanimity. Practice acceptance and detachment in challenging situations. Instead of reacting impulsively, allow yourself to observe the situation with calm and clarity, maintaining an attitude of equanimity. Right concentration, when cultivated, offers us a powerful tool to live with more presence, clarity, and inner peace. By integrating this practice with the other steps of the Noble Eightfold Path, we are on the path to a life of greater wisdom, compassion, and freedom. We have come to the end of our exploration of Buddha's Noble Eightfold Path. Each step of this path offers practices and teachings that transform our lives, bringing us closer to true happiness and the liberation from suffering. By practicing right view, right intention, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration, we are not only cultivating a life of virtue and wisdom but also aligning with our highest potential. Buddha left us a clear map to liberation. It is up to us to follow this path with dedication and openness, integrating these teachings into every aspect of our lives. May we all find the peace, clarity, and freedom that arise from the sincere practice of the Noble Eightfold Path. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey through the Noble Eightfold Path. I hope the teachings shared here inspire and guide you on your own path of self-discovery and spiritual growth. If you enjoyed this content, don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep explorations of ancient wisdom and how to apply it to our modern lives. Leave your comments below and share your reflections on how the Noble Eightfold Path has impacted your life. Until next time.